Welcome to this week's Powerback episode. Today, we're going to talk about the subconscious mind. And I know that you're hearing a lot about the conscious and subconscious right now, but rightfully so, because your subconscious mind is like the wild fucking west. And it is the thing that's going to continue to help you and move you forward, or it's going to be the thing that keeps you in the cycle of feeling stuck, feeling underwhelmed, and not getting the shit that you actually are trying to get. It's also where those pesky, shitty thoughts, feelings, and expectations live, based off of previous experiences and life crap. So today, you're going to learn a little bit more about what the subconscious mind is, how it operates, and how to shift out of the unconscious and back into the conscious so that you are making aligned decisions and taking aligned action, which helps you to bring you closer to all the things that you truly want. Before we get into that today, though, this is like a little bit of a sneak peek into the next class that I'm teaching, which is a 3-day class called Mindfuckery. If you struggle with thoughts that seem to just rotate in your mind, you're overthinking, you're overworrying, you're feeling like you're complicating stuff, you're trying to do stuff, but it's not working, and you're feeling just like, I am confused. I want to do the work, but I don't know what to focus on next. This class is going to help you, understand the mind. You have to understand what's going on to be able to shift it, which, as you know, starts with awareness. We're also going to rediscover what it is that you actually want so that we are matching our conscious and subconscious beliefs. And I'm going to teach you a method to help shift those thoughts in the moment. So instead of them running your life for the rest of the day, week, or month, you can acknowledge it, shift it, and get back into your own version of alignment. So if you feel like I got all the skills, my brain is trying to tell me otherwise, go to LauraAura.com/events where you can sign up for the next Mindfuckery class. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the mind. As I've mentioned before, the mind is the thing that's either going to take you to the next step, give you some ideas, help you know what to do next, really like encourage, empower, and help you move forward on this journey. Or it's going to be the thing that keeps telling you that you can't, that you're too far behind, that other people are better than you, that you're not smart enough, you're not good enough. I mean, insert the bajillion different things that your mind loves to tell you. And you might often be wondering, like, how can I feel great one day and not so great the next day? Well, I first want to acknowledge that you are a human and that this is a very normal process. Even though it doesn't feel great in the moment, you're not unique in the sense that like you're the only one that thinks that you're a turd. We all have that inner dialogue, right? That voice, that feeling that likes to tell us things that aren't actually true, but they sure as fuck feel true, don't they? Well, that is because, my friend, you are thinking from your subconscious. And it's interesting because the subconscious is what rules everything. It is the powerhouse. It is literally where your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your perceptions, your beliefs, it's where it is stored. You are literally operating out of this more often than not. Up to 97% of your day runs through your subconscious mind. It's kind of like unconsciousness. Subconscious and unconscious mean the same, essentially, in this sense. And think of it like driving. Okay. I know a lot of us can relate to this. Have you ever driven somewhere and you got there and you're like, I don't know how the fuck I got here? It's kind of terrifying and also like badassery all in the same time. And the reason that that has happened is because you were operating out of your subconscious mind. Chances are it's a path that you have driven 100 times. It's a place that you've gone to a million times. It's something that you are so familiar with that you don't even have to consciously be awake and aware that you are doing it. Now, you do need to be awake when you're driving, just total fucking disclaimer there. But what I mean is it is so ingrained in your brain that you don't have to consciously think about doing it or getting there. You just do. And that is because your subconscious mind has memorized the shit out of it. When it has experienced something, when it has gone through an event, when it has formed a belief, when it's gone through a scenario, when it's done something enough, it becomes subconscious. This is true for habits as well. So, for instance, at work, when you're running your business, if every single day, the very first thing that you do is open up your computer and go to your email, guess what you are forming? You are forming a habit. And that is teaching your subconscious mind that this is how we operate. And so eventually you're going to go on something called autopilot. That is what your subconscious mind essentially is. It's autopilot. It has been trained, knows exactly what to do. You have told it or taught it, or it has experienced it. And so eventually you're going to be on autopilot. One day you're going to be sitting and looking at your laptop or your computer and you're going to be like, why the hell am I in my fucking email right now? Well, it's because you have trained your subconscious mind to believe that the first thing we need to do each morning is to check our email. Your subconscious mind is autopilot behind the scenes instead of being present. It's like being asleep versus being awake. It's like being unconscious versus like here consciously like thinking about what you're doing. Have you ever been with a friend or your kid or your spouse and they're telling you a story and you're like hearing them and you're nodding and all that stuff, but you're like your brain's going 100 miles an hour and you're doing something else? Yeah, guess what? Subconscious mind. Here's where this gets kind of interestingly tricky. I've been studying the mind lately, and something that I have found incredibly fascinating is that you, me, us, people, humans, we try to change our situation. We try to change our life through our conscious mind. Now, remember, we're only using our conscious present mind 3 to 5% of the time. It's like a little tiny fucking sliver of your day. This is where you are saying things like, I want to make more money. I'm ready to grow my business. I want to travel more. I am ready to do this next thing in my business. And in your conscious awareness, you're like, yeah, I know that this is possible. I have this thought. I would like to do this. And then your subconscious mind comes skipping along like a little fucker and is like, no, remember that one time that somebody told you that your stuff sucks? That's what we actually believe. Remember that one time that someone told you that you were too loud? Yeah, we're not actually going to make videos or content because we don't want people to hear us. You remember that one time that we made money and then like everything went to hell in a handbasket and everything sucked? Yeah, we're not making money. Now, the thing is, your subconscious is not like a jerk. It's a little bit of a turd, let's be honest with you, but it's not a jerk. Your mind innately wants you to win. It wants you to be safe, it wants you to be happy, and it wants you to be healthy. And so in the subconscious, you have formed these thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and emotions. And your body's like, I understand that. We've been there before and it's familiar. I want to keep you from that harm again. Now, the harm could have been actual physical harm, but it could have just been a really, really shitty feeling that you experienced that it doesn't want you to have to go through again. So it's going to do everything in its power to keep you from doing the thing again. So the question comes down to, what do you think versus what do you believe? Because when your subconscious mind does not agree with your conscious mind, that's where the conflict begins. That's where the pushback is. That's where the I'm forcing myself to do things, but it's not working lives. That's why I am trying my damnedest to make more money, but it's not showing up lives. And that tug of war is a ginormous pain in the ass because your conscious mind knows that you're capable. You're like, I know I can do this. I also see proof everywhere that things like this is possible. But my world is not really reflecting it now, is it? The crazy thing with the subconscious mind, too, is that most of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs and perception on things are formed between the ages of 2 and 7. This is years old. These are little baby moments, right? Between the ages of 2 years old and 7 years old is when the majority of your beliefs are formed and they get gelled in there. It's like fucking jello molds in your brain. And now, as adults, now as a business owner, now as a friend or a spouse or a mother or a sister, it is our responsibility to bring awareness around those old beliefs, that jello mold in our mind, and decide, is that true and real? Is this actually my belief and thought? Or is it time to start shifting things? Because those negative thoughts, they do not create a healthy atmosphere, and things cannot grow in unhealthy atmospheres. Think of it like a garden. Your brain is like this beautiful garden. And if that garden is consistently pulled of the sunshine and the water and the resources that it needs to grow, new things are not going to sprout. Misalignment happens. Struggle in the business happens. Conflict within your mind happens. Overthinking, worrying, hustling, all that like nitty gritty kind of stuff happens when your thoughts don't align with what you believe. And until you uncover those beliefs, thoughts, and feelings and rewrite them to be what is true, your thoughts and your beliefs will stay two different things, which means that conflict is going to keep fucking showing up. So here's what that kind of looks and feels like. First, you get an idea. You want something new. You want to go after something. There's something that you want to offer. There's a milestone that you want to achieve in your business. Then you start taking action. You start researching things. You start writing things down. You start building something out. You're like actively doing the thing. Then your subconscious is like, knock, knock, knock. Actually, we've been down this road before and it didn't go well. It didn't feel well. And something happened. It's going to throw a negative thought at you. You can't actually do that. You're too far behind. Do you actually even know what you're doing? You're probably a fake anyway. I need to have more answers. I got to figure more things out. I'm not ready yet. I'm not good enough. I mean, you see where we're going here. Then the body, your subconscious alerts the body and it's like, ooh, I remember. And that's the thing. Your subconscious is actually stored in every freaking cell of your body. And when you relive a subconscious memory, your body feels it like it's happening for the first time again. And so when your body gets involved, then it's like, oh, I don't like feeling like this. This feels uncomfortable. This feels scary. I feel worried. I don't like this. And then you unintentionally end up self-sabotaging by procrastinating, putting things away, not doing it, mind numbing, doing a different activity that's taking you away from something. And there it sits again. And you're like, I want to feel fulfilled. I want to do this thing. Why am I smart? But then all of a sudden, then I just screw things up again until you truly understand that your beliefs, your tendencies, and your subconscious programming is what runs the show. You're going to stay in the fucking hamster wheel of being stuck. Great news is you can build awareness around what's keeping you stuck. Again, this process, this topic is something that we're going to cover in Mindfuckery. So if this is interesting to you and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to shift this and you want some support to do it, again, go to LauraAura.com/events to sign up for the next Mindfuckery class. So the great news again is you get to shift it. You don't have to stay in that space. And that's the fucking power move, my friend. This is the Powerback moment. When you start to build awareness around your unconscious thoughts, it creates this conscious being. All of a sudden, now I am back in my body. I am back in my mind. I am back in my truth. I am back in my confidence. And fuck as hell, this is where I'm going to decide from. This is where I'm going to take action from. This is where I'm going to rewrite this story from. And what I love about this is you get to create new, healthier, more supportive subconscious beliefs with this as well. The subconscious isn't all bad. I mean, it gets a bad rap, but the subconscious, again, it's where we're storing all of our information so that you can do things on autopilot. So how fucking cool is it that you get to bring awareness around these thoughts and feelings and take new actions, create new beliefs. And once you do that enough, that then becomes your subconscious programming. So now instead of your subconscious feeding you a bunch of bullshit, your subconscious is feeding your energy. Your subconscious is feeding your goals. Your subconscious is feeding your finances. Your subconscious is feeding every single thing that you do in a positive and profound way. So, how do you begin to shift the subconscious? Well, great news. The Powerback process works fucking beautifully in this scenario. In case you are new to the Powerback process, it is my method to help you very simplistically shift your thoughts and feelings in the moment so that instead of it running you for the rest of the day, week, month, or sometimes even years, you can shift that, come back into your consciousness, and then take aligned action, which helps you get the thing that you actually want and build new beliefs. So the Powerback process is an acronym, AURA, aura. This is about getting back into your energy, back into your alignment, back into yourself instead of all these other thoughts, feelings, and emotions running you, instead of societal bullshit running you, instead of patriarchal bullshit running you, instead of whatever your parents said to you running you. You are coming back into yourself, into your body and your energy, and moving from there. That's your fucking power move, my friend, because that's where the magic happens. That's where things start to come into your life. That's where things start working in your business. That's where clients start being like, oh, I've never seen you before, but here you are. I'm ready to work with you. So the process is simple. You can do this silently in your mind. You can journal this out if that's more your style. You can type things if you want to, however you like to process things. All that really matters is that you allow yourself to process it. And when you do this enough, you can like literally do this on the dime in a situation, in a question that somebody's asking you, in a feeling that you're having. Like you can literally do this in seconds. Let's use a scenario that I know many of us can relate to, and that is feeling like you need to have it all figured out before you actually do something. So, awareness. I am building awareness around the thought and the feeling that I need to have it figured out. Okay. I have this idea. I've been working on it, but now I know like I can feel myself going down that road where I need to have all the hows and the who's and the what's and the when's and the why's, and every little piece of the funnel is built out and everything on the website is perfect, and I know exactly who is involved, and I've got the target audience narrowed down to like a tiny T, and like you know what it is, right? Like all of those details. You're like, I need to have all of that figured out first before I can do anything. I have just built awareness that I am saying all that stuff to myself. The next thing is you unpack it. This is a space of curiosity. You are not coming at yourself with judgment. This is not a shame invitation. This is not a place where you're like, well, I should. No, we are literally just playing around and getting curious about where did this thought come from? Whew, okay. I know that I am ready to move forward with this idea, but I'm feeling like I need to have all the details figured out again. Gosh, I wonder where that came from. Did I just see something that triggered that in me? Did I read something that made me feel that way? Did I listen to something that made me question myself? Am I relating this back to like the last time that I built that thing and it didn't really go quite right? Like, oh, that's kind of interesting, right? That's the energy that we're coming into this with. Huh, that is interesting. The next step is to reframe it. What is true and actual? What is actually real in this scenario and in this moment? Well, that might sound a little bit something like this. You know what? I am incredibly capable. I am smart as hell. And I know that taking messy action is actually going to help me to figure out a lot of these questions effortlessly. By just giving myself a chance to do one thing today, I'm probably going to figure out a whole lot more than if I just sit here and try and hash it all out and figure it out and pull it out of the fucking ethers. I don't have to have it all figured out to do the thing. In fact, if I just do the thing, I'm putting out the energy. And what if I just put it out and start talking about it? Well, then people might find it interesting. So I got this. I don't need to have it all figured out. Messy action is actually a really great place and space for me to build this thing. Do you see how that energy has shifted? We're not up in that gnarly weirdness anymore. We're not comparing. We're not going to the past. We are consciously in the moment. So, that first portion, when you had the awareness, that was the subconscious talking. Okay. Unpacking it helps you to step a little bit further back into yourself. And then reframing it, my friend, welcome to your conscious mind. This is the space that holds the truth. This is the space that holds the like, I am here and in this moment, and I'm going to make a decision from there, which helps guide you to the last portion of this, which is A, to take aligned action. This is where you are moving forward from a conscious space, from a decision that you've just made. And in this situation, it might be, I'm going to allow myself to make a story and talk about this. I am going to put this up on my website and know that it is done is better than perfect. I'm going to ask 3 of my previous clients about what they think about this. I'm going to do one thing today that helps me to build this and take messy action. And tomorrow I'll do it again. And the next day I'll do it again. And then through that, I'm going to build momentum. Gosh, momentum is such a cool space. And it doesn't come from sitting and like forcing yourself to write it all down and have all the details figured out. No, momentum comes from doing and being. Momentum comes from making decisions through your conscious mind that forms new habits, that forms new beliefs, that provides new experiences, that tells your subconscious mind, hey, look at this. This is good. This feels good. I just showed you and proved to you that this is possible. And I'm going to do this again and again and again. And that's going to become my new subconscious belief. So the new story is I'm capable. I don't need to have it all figured out. And I actually figure things out by doing it and playing with it and figuring out as I go. And that's a fun space for me to be in. I get to learn things along the way, and it will come together in the time that it's supposed to. Your subconscious mind wants you to be healthy. It wants you to be happy, and it wants you to be successful. And by reprogramming it, by getting back in touch with your new, true, actual self, your today, here, from this moment forward, I am starting to shift. Then you form those new beliefs, which help to empower you, which help to expand your business, which helps you to expand on your health, which helps you to just do all these things that you're trying so desperately to do right now. You don't have to do it like that anymore, my friend, but it takes the work to reprogram it. But I can promise you, if you invest in reprogramming it, if you invest in your mind, you invest in your activities, both physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, whatever that looks like, I can promise you that everything that you are trying to work for right now gets to start to become your reality. Last piece of advice before we part today is that this is also not about perfection. Okay. That's a whole nother road to go down. It's not like, oh, I've reprogrammed this thought and now it should just never come back. It's not about getting rid of things. It's about being better equipped to handle it in a different scenario, in a different time frame, more tools in your tool belt so that you can shift things faster. You can shift things in the moment. And it's not about perfecting and like always only feeling good, right? Like that's horseshit. You're a human. Things are going to happen. But the more you do this, the stronger that muscle gets. And the stronger that muscle gets, the more easily you're able to shift through things in the future. New life experiences are always happening. New thoughts and beliefs are always being presented in front of us. And so going through this method helps you to be better equipped to make new decisions, to make new memories, to make new beliefs, to create new feelings, and to have new experiences. If you can't tell, I get super fucking passionate about this topic because it is literally the foundation for everything that you build in your life. Not even just the business, but everything that you build in your life. And so if you're feeling like this is something you want to learn more about, this is something that you want to have support with, again, I super invite you to come into the Mindfuckery class. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to drop a lot of knowledge with you, and I want to support the fuck out of you while we're doing it. So again, LauraAura.com/events. I would love to see you in class. On next week's episode of the Gutsy Podcast, we are talking with Holly Haynes about creating your perfect offer. I know that there's a lot of options, a lot of ways to do things, a lot of do it like this and don't do it like that. Holly offers some really great advice on how you can start to build an offer that feels aligned with you. Until then, I would love to hear from you on social media. I play the most on TikTok and Instagram. You can find me using @thatLauraAura. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.